Hey guys, it's Christina. Welcome back to my channel and this What I Eat in a Week video. As the title mentions, this week is going to be pretty much a lot of leftovers and then some also really good food that I cooked this week. This was a good week of eating, not gonna lie. So I hope you guys are excited because I'm excited to make this video. Alright, a little weird, but we're starting off with a breakfast of leftover enchilada casserole. Sometimes you gotta eat your leftovers, and sometimes that means eating them for breakfast. Continuing the leftover theme, these are some leftover veggie momos, which are like dumplings. If you've never had momos, they are so good. Some leftover noodles that I got from a restaurant, and I just put it on a bed of spinach for health and extra food because would be small otherwise. Also gonna take some chips, a little bit of chocolate, and I don't know, I don't normally bring kombucha to work, but I'm kind of feeling kombucha today, so some kombucha too. Alright, very makeshift lunch. I also have popcorn at work. So this is dinner. It is some more leftovers, shocker. It is a vegan patty melt. It's an Impossible Burger, rye bread, caramelized onions, vegan cheese. I wish I knew what kind of vegan cheese they used because it's really good. But yeah, this hit the spot the other day when I ate it for lunch. So I'm very excited to try it again for dinner tonight. And then I just paired it with a simple salad of spinach, raisins, apples, and some almonds, and just oil and balsamic. Yes. Day 2, or hour 26 of eating leftovers only. No, not leftovers and spinach only. So I already got my bed of spinach ready to go. That I'm then gonna put with some of this. This is tofu masala that I got from the same restaurant that I got the momos. And I'm gonna heat this up, this brown rice, microwave brown rice. I'll use half of it today and half of it for lunch tomorrow. But yeah, spinach, gonna top with the rice, then gonna top with my tofu. I have some boiling water to go for, it's an instant coffee kind of day. It's 6:39 a.m. I'm not normally up this early, so yeah, we're going with instant coffee today. And got a bagel going in here as well. Don't think there's anything too interesting. I ignored my charred parchment paper. Don't think there's anything too much else happening. Also have my handy chocolate bar. Alright, I'll show you guys what it looks like when it is assembled. And this is what it looks like now that the rice is done. You can see the rice in there. Then the tofu and they call it gravy at the restaurant are on top of it. The tofu was in this pink color when I caught it the other day. Since it's been soaking in the gravy for a few days, I think it's super flavorful now. I'm very excited. Stuff like this always tastes better after a few days, I think. So, very good leftovers. Yes. So for dinner, Tuesday night, we are still going strong with the leftovers. I put in the oven that enchilada casserole. This is the last serving of enchilada casserole. It has been featured on my channel at least 3 or 4 times now because it was the gift they kept on giving. But I heated it up in the oven and I got it pretty crispy. I kept it in the oven longer than I normally would have. Topped it with an avocado, some more vegan yogurt, and some more potato chips because even though I got it as crispy as I wanted to, I still needed some more crunch. Hey guys, excuse the lighting. It's just very bright out right now. But I accidentally deleted the footage. Makes me sound like professional. But yeah, I accidentally deleted the clips I had of what I ate for Wednesday's breakfast and Wednesday's lunch. I unfortunately cannot remember what I had for breakfast that Wednesday, which is making me believe it was probably something like a bagel or toast or along those lines. So wasn't missing much there. But for Wednesday's lunch, I had something kind of interesting. I had this leftover corn fritter that I had as leftovers from another restaurant that I had been to. I had just eaten out a lot the week before. That's why I have leftovers from 3 different restaurants. So this was the last of my leftovers. It was a corn fritter. But when you order fritters, you expect them to be this big maybe, or at least I do, but it came with 2 fritters that were like this big. Like my hand can't even like it was a pancake, not a fritter. So I had one of those left, and I basically did another bed of spinach, the brown rice that was like that 90-second brown rice, so the second half of that bag, the corn fritter, and yeah, called it a day for lunch that day. I will be honest and fully disclose that corn fritter was not vegan. There was cheese in it and possibly egg as a binder. I'm not really sure. I've always been fully honest. I'm not vegan. I eat pretty much plant-based entirely when I'm at home, but when I do go out, I still eat a pescatarian diet for the most part. It's something I'm actively trying to work on and lessen, but you know, it doesn't always result in vegan leftovers, and I'm still not going to waste food just because I'm at home and I have them. But yeah, disclosing that, and that is what I ate for Wednesday's breakfast and lunch, and now we can go to dinner. I'm actually cooking. Yes. So for Wednesday night's dinner, I made a tofu katsu. I had never made this before, so first time recipe alert, but also, spoiler alert, it came out super, super well. Okay, so to start off, I had marinated some super firm tofu. So this is like the kind that you don't even like really need to press. Like it's already super, super firm and easy to cut into like cutlets. So I cut my super firm cutlets into about 6 pieces, I think. Marinated it in some soy sauce for like 20 minutes. Then I did a basic breading with flour, panko breadcrumbs, or I should say flour, oat milk, and then panko breadcrumbs, and then I just shallow fried. If on your first flip that it doesn't have like the color you're expecting, that's totally okay and normal. You can just reflip it as I did, and then it will eventually be that perfect crispy golden brown color that you desire. At least I'm assuming you do. I would hope you do, because it's delicious. But anyway, so to pair with my tofu katsu, I decided to do a ramen. I unfortunately ran out of the ramen that I normally get from H Mart, and I had to go to, I think I went to Acme and find a vegan ramen, and there wasn't that many options. I got this one from Lotus Foods that's like rice noodle ramen. So what I did is I put some mushrooms, cut up mushrooms, and cooked them in some gochujang, and then I put the stock powder from the ramen and the amount of water that was listed on the directions and boiled that away. And when it was boiling, then I added the ramen and cooked it to package instructions. While it was cooking, I then just cut up my tofu into like kind of the pieces that you would normally see. And one day I would really love to do this with a Japanese curry, because I've never made Japanese curry before, but it's a bit too warm out for me right now, and I also like to try to stick to kind of one new recipe per meal. So I think making the tofu katsu and the Japanese curry could have been a little stressful, but I definitely see it on the horizon for next time, or a time I should say. So I topped my ramen with some scallions and toasted sesame oil and enjoy. Actually, breakfast slash lunch slash brunch. It is that leftover tofu. Look how freaking good that looks. Some almonds, some raisins. I usually prefer raisins in my salad, but I only have raisins, apples, and spinach with some bread, some little toasty bread to go on the side. And then just a very simple olive oil, balsamic vinegar salad dressing. But yeah, this is lunch today because, or I should say breakfast today, because I have something that's going to make it so I need to eat lunch at 11, and I usually don't eat breakfast till 10 anyway, so we're just combining the 2 meals today, and then I'm going to get like a very like hefty snack after like my work thing is done. But yeah, I think I might get a smoothie bowl later. All right, we'll see. Look how good this looks. So I got a mango pineapple smoothie from a local smoothie shop by work. I wish I had added protein powder. I thought I could have gone without adding protein powder, but I was still pretty hungry by the time I got home, which will explain the amount of mac and cheese that I ate for my Thursday night's dinner. Yes, this recipe is going to be a vegan mac and cheese recipe, and I've played around a lot with these, and I will say I think this is the second best one I've ever made, so I'm very excited to share. I started off with a roux of butter and flour, vegan butter of course. I think I did 1 tablespoon flour, 1 tablespoon butter. Then I added some almond milk. I just eyeballed it. And then once the almond milk was kind of sticking to my spoon, I added my vegan cheese. So this will probably depend on what vegan cheese you use. I used vegan cheddar shreds from Aldi, and they don't really taste like anything, but they have good color and they melt really well. So depending on what brand you use, at this point your sauce might already taste pretty good, but mine kind of just tasted like almond milk still, so I needed to add a lot of seasoning to it, but it really did help with the texture. Like, look how incredible that looks. So what's really pulling the weight in this mac and cheese is a bunch of nutritional yeast. I did not measure. I just added it and tasted it till it tasted no longer like almond milk and actually cheesy. And it got me a good of the way there, but I also like my mac and cheese to have some tang and a lot more flavor. So as well as the nutritional yeast, I also added a bunch of salt and pepper, onion powder, and some Dijon as well. And that got it to the flavor that I want. I feel like this will look different for everyone, but that's just what I wanted to do. I would use this more as a template of a recipe than an exact recipe, because I think the way people like mac and cheese definitely is a preference thing, but that's the flavor profile I usually enjoy. So then by then my pasta was ready, and I just mixed the mac and cheese until the sauce was distributed, and look how good that looks already. I feel like if you were well in time, you could probably stop there, but I didn't. I then cooked up some mushrooms and then added some liquid smoke and soy sauce and maple syrup to them, and the idea here was that the mushrooms would almost be like bacon bits. They didn't really taste like that, but it was still fun, and they tasted good, and they smelled really good. It was hard to keep going with this recipe and not just sit down and eat. But I added my little mushroom bacon bit pieces to the mac and cheese, as well as some jalapenos that I had already cut up for the ramen. So they didn't need the jalapenos, but I wanted to use them up because they were already cut up and I didn't want them to go bad. So yeah, made this spicy, a little bit spicy for myself to be honest, but yes, still looking fantastic. And yep, you can still stop here if you want, but I didn't. I then added my mac and cheese mixture into a greased baking dish, spread it out into an even layer, and then topped with some breadcrumbs and garlic powder. And these breadcrumbs were actually breadcrumbs left over from when I made the tofu katsu, so like I said, no waste here. I was only going to add a little, and then I was like, you know what, let's just add the whole thing. So I also sprayed it with a little bit of oil to get it brown, and I got it a little too brown, as you can see. But nothing wrong with that, and this tasted so, so good. Hey, me again. So I'm editing this video and just gonna fill in the gaps about my meal for the rest of Saturday and Sunday up until dinner, because I didn't film it. Saturday for lunch, I just snacked on the beach. I literally just like had veggie straws and like maybe like some other like chips or something. I didn't really have like a real lunch. And then for Saturday night's dinner, I had a black bean burger. It wasn't vegan, it was vegetarian because it did have real cheese on it. It was okay. I honestly I feel like I'm getting disappointed with some of the black bean burgers that I've had lately. They're all very mushy. I feel like I had like a good run getting black bean burgers with them being like really good, and lately they've just been kind of mushy. But anyway, so Sunday morning, I kind of skipped breakfast because I was getting lunch with my dad and I woke up late. So I kind of decided to just not really eat breakfast. I just had a coffee. Actually, I think I had a matcha. Latte with almond milk. Yes, that's what I had. I didn't film it. And then I got lunch with my dad. I got the salad that was pretty good. It was like greens, like a balsamic vinaigrette, goat cheese, shrimp, apples, pecans, I think, like that type of thing. So yeah, that was a pescatarian meal. So yeah, I didn't film for a couple of reasons. I didn't film because I was out with people, and then two, I didn't film because it wasn't like a fully plant-based meal. That's the content like I really like to show. I mean, I'm always transparent about the fact that I'm not vegan. I just eat mostly plant-based for the most part, but there is a couple pescatarian meals that I do eat like once a week or something like that. So those are the two that I had this week, the salad and the black bean burger. And anyway, now we are on to Sunday night's dinner. So for Sunday night's dinner, after eating out so much, I really just felt like a nice whole foods plant-based meal. So I got myself a yellow squash and a zucchini. I cut the zucchini into little pieces and then the squash into some discs. I actually really would have liked an eggplant, but they didn't have eggplant, so 2 squashes it is. And once my squashes were in my cast iron, I seasoned with some za'atar, some paprika, and then salt and pepper, a little bit of olive oil, tossed it all around, and then put in the oven to roast away. And then to pair with my squash, I decided I wanted to do some chickpeas, some rice, some spinach arugula, and some hummus as well. So we were making ourselves a big bowl. But I decided for the chickpeas that I wanted to zazz them up a bit. So I added some harissa paste to them. And I tossed the chickpeas in the harissa paste. I had a little bit of jalapenos left over. So put that in the pan with them and roast those away too at the same time as my squash. Once everything was ready, I assembled my bowl. It was pretty easy since I used some 90-second rice again. This was like a wild rice blend. So I just did my spinach, then my rice, topped with my veggies and my chickpeas, and then with some hummus and lemon juice as well. And this was such a fantastic meal. Not only did it hit the spot after eating out so often, it also made great leftovers and was a really lovely way to start my week. Notice there's still rum in the background, so we're not going fully wholesome here apparently. But yeah, food-wise, this was quite satisfying and made my body feel very good. And that's what I ate this week. I hope you guys enjoyed. I really liked some of the meals that I ate this week, and I actually really did enjoy the first half of the week with all the leftovers. I actually thought it was like very fun to like put them together, and obviously I loved not having to do dishes and stuff like that. So I liked this week of eating. I feel like I look back on some weeks and I'm like, oh, that was kind of boring, or could have eaten like something more healthy or whatever. But this week, I don't know, I was feeling it, and I'm really happy that I was filming for most of it. So yeah, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. Let me know what you think, if there's any recipe you want to try out, and yeah, I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.